Hi, everyone, and you're welcome back to our series. Your children are watching you, and this is part four. And please, I will encourage you to catch a replay on my Facebook page at Aderonke Samuel, and also on my YouTube page at the Doing Couple. Yes, I'm sure you're going to learn one or two lessons from those videos. Yeah, you are. And I shared experiences and different examples of how our children are watching us without us knowing, on also how we can learn from our children. So today, let's go to why we are here. Recently, something happened between my two daughters that really got me thinking. And on this particular day, my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old were having an argument. And both of them were so upset and refused to listen to one another. So I called them because I was concerned. I called them over and said, "Oh, what happened?" And after hearing both sides, you will not believe what happened. I realized something interesting. They were actually saying the same thing, but in different ways. Both of them were just so focused on proving their point that they could not even see that what they were saying was actually the same. Mhm. And when I realized that, I'm like, what happened? And I tried to explain, but they didn't understand. So I called my husband and said, please, let's show them how they could have handled this thing differently. So we decided to demonstrate how they could have handled the situation differently. And honestly, I didn't expect that that small act would make such a big difference on that day, but it did. And after watching us, the children finally understood that they were both right in their own way, that they were just not listening to understand, but they were only listening to defend or to respond the other person. And that moment really helped them see things differently. And after explanation, after demonstration, both of them smiled, they apologized to each other, and peace returned. Does that mean they still don't have argument? No, they still do, because they are human beings just like you and I. They still do, and they will get upset. But they handle things differently now. But guess what that experience did to me? It reminded me of what happens in many marriages. Because over time, with my experience with couples, I've realized that sometimes when couples argue and feel like they are on opposite side, when in reality, they are saying almost the same thing, but just in different words, but just using different words to explain themselves. But because neither person is ready to listen, they miss the connection. So they don't realize that what they are saying is the same thing. And the truth that we need to understand is that misunderstanding are normal part of any relationship, whether between couples or between siblings. You know why? Because people will not always do what we like, including our partner. They will not always do things the way we want them to do. So that will always cause misunderstanding. Yes, it will. So it's a normal part of relationship. Normal thing that is part of relationship. And this is what I've learned over time. Many issues in marriage could have been avoided if we listen to understand our partner and not listen to reply, which is what I think many of us do. We don't listen to understand, we listen to defend, or we listen to reply. Yes. And most time I believe the problem is often not from the disagreement itself, but how we handle it. And I get it. I know that listening during an argument is not easy, because it's easier said than done. Because at that point, emotions are high and we want to defend ourselves, we want to prove a point. But with practice, we can learn to listen with empathy. We can learn to listen to understand, because if you don't listen well, we will not be able to understand where they are coming from. And when couples don't listen, it becomes harder to resolve issues, because this is when partner will want to hold on tightly to their own opinion, to their own point of view, and no one wants to apologize first. And because one person will be saying I'm right, the other person will be saying I'm right, and whereas they might both be right. But because we're not listening to understand where the other person is coming from. Yes. And sometimes we don't realize that we have stopped listening, because sometimes we assume that we already know what the other person want to say. We already assume that we know what our partner is going to say. So that's why we don't try to listen intently to what they are saying. And this is what we also had to learn consciously in our marriage too. We learned it, and it's working for us now. And There was a time that we struggled with this at the beginning of our relationship as well. That we would only listen to defend and only listen to respond. But now we intentionally practice listening. Even when we think we already know what my partner is going to say, or when my partner knows that you already know what I'm going to say. So, and this particular act has really changed our relationship. It has really changed how we handle disagreement in our home. So please, let's make a conscious effort to listen and not to respond. Listen to understand. But because if you continue to listen to defend yourself, you will not be able to understand what your partner is saying. Okay, you will only be assuming every time, and assumption really help in a marriage. No, no, no. Assumption does not help any marriage. So you need to hear to understand before you can know what to say. But understand your partner, build connection between you guys, okay? So please, let's choose to listen more intentionally, okay? And listen to understand our partner for the peace we want to see in our home. Because when we don't listen to our partner, there will not be peace. That's when we'll be having misunderstanding, we're having disagreements. And whereas most of the time, what we are saying is what the other person is also saying, but we are just saying it in different ways. Or sometimes it could even be that what the one person is saying is of the benefit of the other person, but the other person will be fighting it because they are not listening to understand where this person is coming from. So please listen, because what your partner is saying might even be to your own advantage. So please, I want to beg you, listen to understand. Don't listen to respond. Don't listen to defend. Don't listen to ignore what they are saying. Okay? And remember, your children are watching you. Thank you so much, and God bless you. Don't forget to go and catch a replay on part 1, part 2, and part 3. Okay? Thank you, and God bless you. Amen.